You're listening to a DM podcast.
Welcome to Over the Back Fence. I'm Di Edwards.
I'm Nicola Dale, and we're buddies of nearly 4 decades. And yes, we actually do happen to share a back fence.
We do. We love parties, people, inspirational stories, and honestly, making the most out of life.
So join us as we open our hearts, share our stories, and hear from some of the most inspirational people in the world, and have a laugh along the way.
Yeah.
Enjoy! Exciting stuff coming up. At the end of this episode, Di and I are going to announce the winner of the MOA Blinds Christmas in July competition. So make sure you stay tuned until the end to find out who the winner is.
Hey, Nicola, coming up now.
Who have we got?
You know what's disappointing? He's called the Blonde Butler, his business, and he's one of Sydney's greatest caterers, but he wasn't blonde.
I think he was blonde in his day. I think it's just the lights there,
I
Di.
should have said it on the day, actually. Alex Cadger is his name, and he's beautiful human.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
Really
well,
just
look, part of the
amazing.
bonus, because he's a bonus to us, and he catered for our Over the Back Fence launch party.
was
and people are
incredible.
still talking about that.
Yeah,
but we're going to now let you listen to all about Alex.
You've probably seen him on television. He's always on air.
Well, the best
doing
parties in
something.
Sydney, he's the man.
He
Highly
is.
recommend.
Yeah, all of Sydney.
He's the best of the
Everyone
best.
knows him. The blonde, not blonde.
I think he is. I reckon he's going to put some colour in his hair after this.
I hope you all enjoy it.
The Blonde Butler, Alex Cadger.
Hey, Nicola, we're back. We are back in the studio.
I know, can you believe it?
No, I can't.
I'm very happy to be back.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, because we hung out a lot together,
We
and
did.
then we've had a couple of weeks apart, so I've actually missed you.
No, I'm actually driving going, I've got to talk to Nicola about this. I've got to talk to Nicola about that. And I'm like, but then we walked outside the studio today and we both went, yippee!
We did.
So, look, today we're really excited.
So I'm munching on some yummy cheese.
Yes, we're having cheese, a beautiful cheese platter that was brought in by our gorgeous next guest, Alex Cadger. I'd love to welcome you, Alex, to
Thank
Over
you
the
so
Back
much.
Fence.
Woohoo!
We gather you're the ultimate foodie and caterer to the stars, including companies like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, just to name a few. And, of course, Alex catered for the remarkable launch of Over the Back Fence.
did.
Oh, that was the party to end all parties. Until people are still talking about the food. They really are.
I saw the pies were popular.
Oh, they were.
Oh, I think I had 10. So naughty. So, Alex, without any further ado, let's introduce to our beautiful Over the Back Fence friends, the Blonde Butler, Alex Cadger.
Thank you so much.
And so,
Thank you.
Alex.
My first podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Well, we're on it.
Wow. Podcast
I'm a
virgin.
rookie.
Yeah, well, we love that. we love podcast virgins. Just tell us a bit about yourself. Like, how did it all begin?
I was am a real passionate foodie, and my whole childhood was spent cooking and helping out in the kitchen. And when I got to about 17 or 18 years old, I decided I'm going to have a catering company. So I must have been manifesting. And anyway, I was 25 years old and I was working in marketing. And I thought, bugger this. I'm going to go and do the catering company and give it a crack. And I did.
So you ran with your passion.
I did.
That was
Isn't
running
that
through your
good?
veins.
Yep. So I started doing cheese platters, like similar to the one you're eating.
God. Let me just have a
I
grape.
think I've already eaten half the bowl.
Have a fig.
Or a fig.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, it started with cheese platters and little intimate dinners in people's homes because it was just me.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah, so I was packing the boot of the Mazda 3 and
Where were
driving
you
around
living?
Sydney. I was in Paddington at the time,
Okay,
but
that's a
I'm
good
born
spot.
and bred Penrith. I was working in the day, driving home at night, and I had this my kitchen was about the size of this table. And I remember having to glaze hams and roast fucking loads of potatoes and squeeze them in this tiny bar fridge and drive it to these jobs. And then obviously I'm a boy from Penrith, right? So I had to learn the swankiness of the eastern suburbs scene and how to behave and talk. And so that was a real learning curve for me.
Not many 17-year-olds. I mean, you or I were just in the gutter drinking, having fun.
I did
partying.
that as well.
But we were at school. But my point, I guess, trying to make is how were you inspired, or how did that come about, your desire to cook?
Was it in the family home?
Was it-
No,
or was
it
it
certainly
Is
wasn't,
it,
because-
like, was it instinctive? Was it
Yeah, I think
magazines you
so.
read? Was it someone you knew?
No, I think it was just inside of me. I
Love that.
I used to cook
It's
all the
amazing.
time, and
Wow.
at school I was really lucky. I went to a really good school, and one of the subjects I picked in the last 2 or 3 years was hospitality and cooking, and we had full commercial kitchens, and I got to be taught by TAFE teachers there.
Wow.
I was a bit of a teacher's pet in this class because I really loved this lady. Yeah, I
Can't you
loved.
see him as a
Yeah,
teacher's
totally.
pet?
I was rocking out in all these like little competitions, and I thought this is exactly what I want to do.
See, that's great. You're getting your rewards already when you were younger. You could you found
Yeah.
your passion early, and then you've just followed it through. So how did it turn from sort of like going from these parties, sort of like small ones with your Mazda full of the food
Yeah,
in the back, to all of a sudden then your next level, and you are like, you are known now as the go-to
gotcha.
guy in Sydney.
Yeah,
if you want
absolutely.
catering, you're it, and there's no one better.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
It took a long time and a lot of blood, sweat and tears, but
Yeah.
I think we had, an event a week and then 2 events a week, and I still had to work full time because I needed an
Of
income.
course.
It took at least 3 years of really hard dedication to be able to leave my job and go full time here.
And be game enough to do that too.
Yeah.
Take that giant leap of
which
faith.
is super scary.
It
But do you
is.
think marketing must have been a bit of an advantage for you too? Does it sort of go hand in hand when you're doing
think
marketing,
so.
advertising?
I
It's
think
sort
so.
of
That's a
swaps
very good
over.
point, yeah.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
anything.
Yeah.
Did you do any like cooking courses, or did you go to France
Isn't that
and
No,
do
amazing?
but
like
I
a-
want to do
like,
that.
but like
Yes.
so
Self-made
like
man.
Really, like what did you look up a recipe? Like my brain
can't
still.
read
I'm trying to
recipes,
get.
no.
How did you get inspired to do different sorts of foods? And
I
I mean,
think-
you've got this
it's
incredible
in his
reputation.
DNA, I think.
Really?
I think so too.
But you were excited and went, oh. So did you experiment? Is I guess the question.
Yeah, I messed a lot of the events up at the start. I just kept at it, and we won some big jobs and we
Perseverance.
lost a lot of jobs, and I think the biggest one we did in the first few years was 5,000 people for a Jimmy Barnes
Sorry?
concert.
Oh, whoa.
Are you kidding me?
How cool is that?
That was really cool. My business partner, he's really skilled at operations and the back end of stuff. He always says I'm the tits and teeth and he's the back
That's
end.
great. Because I imagine the organisation for something like that was staff.
Massive. And it took us 6 months just to plan it out.
Yeah.
But that was a big success.
Oh,
Brilliant.
fantastic.
More power
And then,
to you.
like after 3 years or so, and I was in the business full time, we got our first employee and then our second, and we got like 35 to 40 people working with us now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's huge.
So what's sort of your favourite sort of food that you like? Do you have
Well,
any?
I'm passionate about the styling of food.
Right.
I'm really into setting up the grazing tables and styling the dessert bars and all that kind of stuff.
Making it look pretty.
I like the prettiness of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and I like the entertaining part of it. I love having people over and having a theme for the night and carrying it through the house. And so you never know what you're in for when you come for dinner. You should come over for dinner one night.
Oh,
I'm
I tell
sitting
you
here
what.
going, do you come up to Palmy and do one with us, or we come to you?
We should.
I'm
Oh, that
excited
is it.
already.
Exactly.
Seriously. My question to you is, we all endured COVID. I'm just intrigued to know how that affected your business.
It was
And how
horrid.
you
Well,
survived.
that's a good
Horrid.
question.
Yeah. We were experiencing a lot of growth right before COVID hit, so much so that I needed a whiteboard to write all the clients up on it. I was very excited to go to Officeworks and buy that. And I made a grid and I wrote all these clients' name on it, and then the phone started ringing and I'd wipe one and the next and the next. And I thought, oh my God, this can't be happening. And I ended up getting the Windex and wiping them all off, shutting the door, locking it up. But I ended up going to a fruit and vegetable factory and packing boxes of veggies.
Wow.
Good for you. Good for you.
Wow,
And what about,
super
did you
wow.
sort of diverse and do picnics, or were there any other sort
The
of things
first
that you
month
sort of do?
I just threw a tanty.
Yeah, I
and
think we all did.
I did. I wasn't interested. I went and packed these heads of broccoli, and I thought, that's it. This is as good as it's going to get. And I think it got to week 3 or 4, and I called my business partner and said, no, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to run a special every Friday with our cheese boxes and a bottle of wine dropped to people's front doors.
Love it.
Yeah.
I said,
Think
99
outside the
bucks.
square. Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
And who doesn't like that?
Yeah.
A cheese thing
Ticking
and a
over.
bottle
Yeah.
of exactly.
Well-
and a couple of
More
bottles
in
of wine.
COVID
I
than
tell you
I've
what,
ever
that
drunk.
was the time.
Yeah, I
So
was
that
always
worked.
pissed.
That worked.
And so did that tide you over?
Yeah.
I had to hire so many people.
Really?
It went ballistic.
Oh, there you go.
We were
I'm
hiring
floored.
vans in. We own vans, but we needed more. We were driving all over Sydney. We were doing hundreds and hundreds of deliveries every Friday. It turned into the biggest operation.
It's awesome. Now, Alex, I'm really sorry to hear that you've lost your mum. That's so sad, and you're so young, and your mum just seems so beautiful, and she was your best friend.
She
and
was.
So, all our sympathy with
Thank
that.
you.
But what was your mum's name?
Kim.
Kim.
Or Kimmy.
Kimmy. And were you part of that journey with her? Because in coming through adversity, I'm sure there's listeners here who've sort of sadly in the situation too when they've lost a loved one, but there's no one quite like your mum, is there?
No.
She a good cook?
She was
Tell us a bit
okay.
about Kimmy.
She was
Yes.
okay. And she used to say to me, I don't know where you've got this from.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's beautiful.
That's
So
amazing.
did you cook? You would have cooked for her, did you?
Well, it was
I did-
refreshing for her.
I did cook for her a fair bit, but we used to go on dates all the time. So
Oh,
Stop.
Isn't that gorgeous?
we'd go out for dinner.
I hope my sons are listening to this.
I know.
Yes,
What
take note.
Isn't that
Date night.
yes,
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so special.
We always did it. We were besties, forever. But she got sick in 2019 with ovarian cancer.
I call that the silent killer, isn't
man,
it?
it's
and
horrible.
a lot of our
Yep.
female listeners here have either been affected by it or they know people who
Yeah.
they've lost.
Yeah.
And it's a awful,
It was
awful
really
illness.
traumatic for her, but also to watch was just, it was really
Diabolical.
horrible.
No.
Yeah.
Gee, she must be so proud of you though,
She
like seeing you
was.
with your business
She was.
Yeah.
striving and doing so well.
She
And-
was always the first person to share the Facebook post
Oh, I
when it would go
love
up.
it.
Yeah.
Special.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? And
Yeah,
now
that's
seeing you
amazing.
go ahead. And is there, tapped in sort of like to a spiritual side? Is that correct, Alex? Or-
Yeah, well, my mum was quite spiritual.
Right.
And I also am extremely spiritual. But I think that the trauma of, my dad also passed away a couple of years ago with dementia. So I think the combined trauma actually caused a bit of an awakening. So it's opened up this whole new world and people that I'm now friends with. And it's like I'm a completely different person to the one I was years ago. I'm less anxious and stressed and worried and more just accepting and chill and calm.
It's
And
like Kim's spirit has come
Isn't
down.
that
to
It
her.
honestly is.
That's like a gift that you've got through like the toughest and worst times of your life. And they
Yeah.
say sometimes you have to go through those
Yeah,
awful
yeah.
times. But look, when you're saying an awakening, and here you are
Yeah,
now, sort of
yeah.
like, with this sort of like beautiful spirit, and you're
Yeah.
open, and all these great things are coming to you.
Yeah.
Like
Has that
magnets.
affected your work in any way? As in a good way? Like,
what it has done is it's made me less aggressive and almost
You're
anxious
more
in
grounded.
my business dealings. Yeah, I think it's made me a better business person.
wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's incredible. I love hearing stories
Amazing
like
the
that.
gifts that you
Yeah.
can get,
Yeah.
and they
Funny.
keep
And
on, and they
against
keep
all
on,
odds.
Yeah.
giving
Yeah.
really.
My friend said before I came on today, don't go all woo-woo on them.
Ah.
We love it a bit of woo-woo,
I know,
don't
and
we?
you know what? The world's so much more accepting of woo-woo now. Thank God.
Yeah.
I think we're all
Like,
open.
So you're going to have the most beautiful experience when you book Alex for your catering.
Absolutely,
I know,
yeah.
you've got
I'll
the
bring my
spirit
crystals.
to
Exactly.
I love
Exactly,
that.
that's
I love
right.
that.
So you just get more than
I
food,
love
and,
that.
and he's pretty easy on the eye. So
Yeah,
come
he's
on,
really
look at him.
hot.
He's got the handsome.
Do you go to a lot of the events?
Do you
now?
know, I
I've
haven't
seen
for a
you,
while.
Alex.
I haven't for a while, but I was
Yeah.
only thinking the other day, it's about time I start going
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, I think
agree.
so because
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
like at a good restaurant and the head
Yes.
chef
Yeah.
comes out.
Absolutely,
It's a real
yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So if you make an appearance, it's
Yeah.
like, whoa,
He's
Alex
trained
is
the good
here.
people, but
Yeah.
it's good for you to dip that toe back
Sometimes
in.
I get home from work and I think I haven't done anything with food all day.
Yes,
I've
and
been
that's what you
looking at
love.
balance sheets.
Well, we'll
and,
come over
yeah.
for dinner. You can cook for us.
And
Yes.
any tips just for the average person listening on how to put something good together
Do you know, I
quickly
think
and
you-
easily?
I
Like,
think
what
you
do you
can do a
suggest?
lot from the grocery store.
Can you? Like, give us an example of what
Well, I'll
you
give
could
you a
do.
savoury
Yeah,
example.
Okay.
I was having two friends over a couple of weeks ago, and there's a big expectation when you come to my house for dinner, right?
Yeah, we're counting
Yeah,
down.
God,
Exactly,
yeah.
I know, big.
I'm going to get a burger when I come to your
No,
house.
actually, I did do an American
Oh,
burger night once, but it
I
was very
imagine-
sophisticated.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I was running out of the office and the phone was ringing and the emails are going crazy. And I think it was Friday afternoon where all the events are starting. And I thought, oh, bugger this, I can't be bothered. So I went to Harris Farm and I think I grabbed big steaks, and I grabbed a pre-made mac and cheese,
Yeah.
and I took it out of that tray and I put it into mine, and I put
Stop.
truffle oil over the top.
That's a tip, truffle oil.
Really?
And they said, "This is the best mac and cheese we've ever
Oh,
had."
and you're going, someone finds the packaging. What the
No,
hell?
I took the rubbish out before they came.
That is, see, if Alex can do it, we can do it.
Harris Farm, our new advertisers.
Well, I think I've done that once, haven't I, Dodie, with a good old chicken pie.
yeah.
And the
Oh, yeah.
girlfriend was just at me because I sort of half pretended I made it.
Yeah. yeah.
And then she kept on wanting to know the exact recipe or whatever. And I was like, I'm just not giving it away,
I'm
you
busy,
know.
I'm busy,
Yeah.
I can't talk,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. People
That's a
always
great
ask
one.
From
for
the French
recipes.
patisserie down the
Yes.
road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truffle oil, you can put it on. I could put that on
Yeah, well, I
toast.
put panko crumbs on it and made it all crunchy. And
But that is a tip too, isn't it? Just
It's
those
a
little extra,
great
or
one.
chili oil
Yeah,
on some
tart it
things
up.
too. I put
Yeah.
that on a lot
Did
of
you say
things.
tart it
Tart
up?
it
I
up,
love
yeah.
that.
Tart it up.
Oh,
We
baby, yeah. We went out for dinner last night. I was just so excited. It landed in front of me. And I just, because I knew we were interviewing today, and I actually thought, wow, how I feel before I even taste it. You know how food makes, when it's presented well and it's
Yeah.
good, it just makes you feel good. It's nourishment,
Yeah.
you know?
and
It's
also nice
nurturing.
that someone's done that for you.
Yes.
I
That's-
love that.
That's a good point.
That is so
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
that someone's done it for you.
I always get the tingles when I see my chefs put the extra caring, because I think that's so nice you care enough to do that.
And I think maybe that's also what separates you from the average caterer to the top shelf caterer, are those little details.
Little touches.
Yeah.
And it's that real care from
Yeah.
the heart.
And that's flowed from his passion.
I think so.
I mean, that's the
And
tentacles.
I think there's a little bit of
Yeah.
spiritual angels coming around with sprinkle dust or
Yes.
something
Yes.
across or something
What
there.
a gorgeous combination.
Now,
food
come on, you
and
now
love
tell
and
us, you know,
spirituality.
how's the love life? Are we single? Are we
We are
dating?
single.
Are we,
We're
you know,
single.
look at this.
I've been
A
on
lot of
2
single
dates.
people around at the
I guess.
moment.
I've been on 2 dates recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually rocked up drunk to the first one.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's good. You're just more chilled.
I was so fun. Shut.
That's so much fun. I love your honesty.
I'd like to interview the other
I was
person. then.
fabulous. I don't know what they were
What was
like,
their
but I was
take? Yeah.
fabulous.
No, that was fun. But I find dating really hard.
Yeah, I think a lot of, I think
yes.
most people would be like you.
Yeah.
Like,
Mum and I were in, well, she was in hospital and this doctor kept coming in and she kept nudging me. And she said, absolutely perfect for you. And
isn't she
I said,
incredible?
just let him sort your bloods out.
That's beautiful.
And so she said, what's your name? I said, please stop.
yeah,
Please
like
stop.
mum, bless mum, in
Yeah.
the hospital even. Oh, God
Yeah,
love her.
gosh, she was funny. She used to say to me, we've got to make friends with the nurses. I said, okay, well, do it. She got me in one night and she said, this one down here loves those cappuccino sachets. Go and buy 3 boxes of them.
Stop. So she was a nurturer.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
We
we're both
usually got that.
empaths.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember I
yes.
used to be able to feel the chemo going in when she was having it.
Oh, that's incredible.
that is
Or I'd say to her, you've got a sore tummy or something. And she'd go, how do you know?
Oh, you're so connected.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
connected.
So I'd always
Yeah.
know, or I'd know when something was coming, you know, like if
You're like a medical intuitive. You can make a fortune out of that.
Yeah,
Maybe I should
tell you,
drop
exactly.
catering
Yeah, I think so.
We're going to put a few more letters after his name on his card. Now, we've got some...
We've got our signature
you
question.
go
yes.
with everyone, anyone you want, Nicola.
Anyway, I just want to know now, what would you say to your 20-year-old self, Alex?
I think I would tell my 20-year-old self to be more kind to himself. I think I sacrificed a lot in my 20s by working all the time and missing everyone's birthdays and nights out and things. I think if I did this again, I would probably go to more of those dinners.
Love
Oh,
that. Love
wow.
that.
Yeah.
So you'd still have your passion, but
Yeah.
you'd also have the passion
I think
for
I would
yourself.
balance.
A balance.
I think I would
yes.
balance it a
I
bit
hear
more.
you.
Yeah.
I did manage
That's
to
a
do
lovely
a
recognition.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did a lot
that's
in a short amount of
beautiful.
time, but I think I would have liked to.
I think a lot of people listening right now would appreciate but also empathise with that comment
Yeah.
about finding balance, because in our society I think that's where we're always looking for that, aren't we? You know,
Yep.
working too hard,
Yeah.
playing too hard.
Yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
where is that beautiful
Yeah.
balance?
And it did become
for
quite
a 20-year-old,
isolating. Yeah.
I get that.
And I think
like,
when, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you've gone through some massive losses too, it puts
Yeah.
things into perspective. So
Totally.
you're going, wow, you know what, maybe I should have just gone to that party
I
then
think,
and enjoyed it
I do
myself.
often think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Dottie? What's our favourite
So
question?
our favourite question, which always blows my mind constantly, is if you had the opportunity of meeting someone over the back fence. Who would that be and why?
Ooh, do you know who I would really love?
Ooh, I'm getting excited.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, absolutely.
What a hoot.
My absolute
Remember putting the
favourite.
boobs out
Yes.
with the
That
saucepan
is
lids?
When she says first day as a woman.
It's the latex. So brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that is
Robin Williams.
I'll tell you
That's
what,
my favourite movie.
It's one of my favourites too.
Sally Field.
Sally
Field.
Fields.
What a
Oh,
great combination.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
It was-
That is good.
And you know, there's a part of me that sort of relates to him. He wanted to still be involved with his kids, you know?
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. Every
Yeah.
part of it was
I know,
magnificent.
so funny.
Wow,
in
that'll be
San
a
Francisco, I
fun.
love that one.
Yeah,
We like to sort of gate
yeah.
crash a few of these ones. Down.
Alex,
think
I
that's
love
one
you.
too.
You're a bit left field, and I love all that.
I know,
and
you
hence the
are.
food, you know.
Well, I'm
it
just
was
going to
different.
just crunch on a
Really
bit of this
unique.
cheese
yeah,
here.
Yeah. We're loving the cheese box. Thank you
But
for
thank you
bringing
so
My
it.
much
pleasure.
for
Thank you for
coming
having
in
me.
Thank you
and,
for coming.
and
Thank
telling
you.
us a few
So many
tips.
ways.
And for everybody, we'll put
Everything.
your details on our show notes
Thank
too.
you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for coming,
Alex.
Thank you for
Alex.
having
You
me.
just
It's been
enjoy.
fun.
Yeah. It's such an exciting time of the year. Christmas certainly has come early.
It has. We
And you know
love
why
this.
it's so exciting? Because we have got a winner of our MOA competition.
It's so good. It's been great, actually. I can't believe
We have
they
had
had to
just-
DM us.
They had to DM
with
us
a
so
beautiful
many
story.
entries. So MOA, they are the best blinds and furnishings really in Sydney, and it was $5,000
Yeah, it's a
worth
lot.
of products.
It's a lot.
So we've had
a
some
good comp.
fantastic entries,
I
and I'll tell you what, it's been
know.
really difficult to find a winner because I think, to be honest, everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
And I really want to thank people, and I want to give some shout outs. There's been some great
some of them
entries.
actually brought me to
There's
tears.
Paula from the
Exquisite.
Central Coast, and
yeah.
she's had a really beautiful thing about helping and with a neighbour. Sheridan Harris, another really moving story as well. We've had Jessica, we've had contestants from all around Australia actually,
Yeah,
South
that's amazing.
Australia as well. It's just sort of Taylor Burns as well, a really great shout out. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you sort of entering. We appreciate you listening and
Yeah.
following and sharing, because that's just so important, really, sort of like for spreading the word.
Absolutely.
And it's community.
Yeah. I love a
And,
competition. I want to do a few, actually.
yes.
So it was very, very difficult to judge
Yes, yeah.
the winner because all of them were, very heartfelt by us. And a lot of them, Over the Back Fence is all about community, connecting, inspiring. And this particular one that we all chose was the one that connected to our hearts. And it's
So who is
Theo!
the winner?
Theo is the winner. And
Wow. This is a really good community one,
it
wasn't
was
it?
beautiful. And look, it's quite long, and so I won't bother reading it all out. But in essence, he was cutting the first part of the story, but he actually witnessed someone, their mother who had dementia, had walked off, and her daughter was, in a real panic. Anyway, they ended up finding the mother and taking her to hospital. Like
Oh,
it goes
really?
on
Yeah,
and on
that's
and on.
it.
It's
Oh,
remarkable.
wow.
And I think he was-
Kindness.
yeah, exactly. And I think he was just heading back to the office, just cruising along,
Yeah.
singing a song, and and he witnessed this and he stepped up to the mark. And I
Excellent.
thought, good on you, Theo. We love hearing stories like that. And thank you so much for writing in with the story.
And entering.
And well done, $5,000.
Congratulations, Theo.
Blind.
And MOA Christmas comes early, doesn't it?
Incredible.
Well, you never know. We might have another Christmas in December.
Oh, well, there you go. We
never
can
know.
give more away.
We thank everyone there for following us. And I tell you what, and also for the great reviews and feedback that we're getting. It's just
it's astounding.
It's incredible.
Actually. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's lovely to, quite a bit of work goes into a podcast. It's not like just you walk in, as I look at our gorgeous producer Sam, but it's not like we just walk into a studio and do it. There's a lot of background work that goes into it, and also the type of guests that we choose is with you in mind, the listener in mind, and the feedback is everything to us.
Yeah, that's
because that's like a guide for us moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, we've got some fabulous guests coming up.
Oh, I tell you
Truly.
what,
Yeah.
who have we got there? We've got
Well, I waylaid your surgeon in the hospital.
well, everyone. I've actually been out of action. I think a few people have known too. I've actually had to have. I feel like I'm 30, but my body's saying I'm 100 at times. But
Yeah.
I actually had a full right hip, it was all replaced. So I've got a whole
You
new
and Amanda
hip.
Keller.
Exactly, Amanda Keller, exactly. And Andy Murray, with the best of them.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So it was just great. Honestly, I have to, it's like a big shout out to the surgeon. And in fact, he's done such a good job. We're having him on the podcast.
Well, I met him in the, we went to see poor Nicola, poor Nicola though, there she was.
Northern
was it 48
Beaches
hours?
Hospital.
48 hours after she had the op. And there she was sitting there like bathed in sunshine, big smile, like a banana smile. And I'm like, really? And a bit lippy, I'm like, you look amazing. Then the surgeon walked in and chatting away, and I thought he was saying something that was so funny, and I thought, wow, he's not a true academic, he's actually got a sense of humour. And I started looking at Nicola and thinking, my God, she's got a new hip. Body parts.
Would you
come on the podcast and talk about the future of body parts, how, health, our particular pain issues will change.
He does
They'll
knees
just replace
as well,
Yep.
like knees,
So he
hips.
said I'd love to.
Happens to the best of us. And I tell you what, I'm like now nearly 3 weeks on.
Wow.
And a couple more weeks I will be dancing on the table.
And she came up the stairs today at the studio. It's quite a few flights of stairs. Up she comes. Unbelievable.
And I've been doing some physio, and I've been doing it with people older than me, and I tell you what, it's a big appreciation of like living life that you can, because it can be tough too, so it's sort of like for some people as they age, getting things done. So, and things can happen to people at different ages, and really I'm grateful because mine can get repaired, because people are out there, suffering in different ways. Replaced.
It's remarkable. Honestly, it's great to have you back on healthy.
Thank you. Well, I've had some really, and thank you to some lovely listeners too. I've even got a beautiful listener who's sent some beautiful essential oils to me, which was really sort of
lovely.
thoughtful. And people have just sort of said, you know what, I just feel like I'm sort of sitting around the kitchen table with you having a laugh, or having a giggle with you girls, because it is sort of relaxed the way that we talk.
Well, yeah, and that really warms my heart that they can feel that way, because it makes me feel really
and the
good.
connection too, the people that we've had before, like Alex Cadger is a life coach as well. So many people then have sent messages there and want to see and picked up some different tips. And then what about Gus?
Gus Wallen really affected me.
Gotcha for life.
A lot of us here that day, like when you hear the story or the background to what initiated him starting Gotcha for Life is just nothing short of remarkable, because if you see where he's taken it today, sponsoring, rugby league clubs, and talks about on radio all the time. It's everywhere. It's huge, Gotcha for Life. And, that interview, it stayed with me for days.
And also with Sam, who was just courageous enough and opened up. The amount of messages Sam's received personally from that has been huge. They've sent DMs to us and then personal ones to you, Sam. And so it's just, that's the thing too, Di, how it's one of these things you talk about. People aren't alone. No, and I think by sharing it, and if you feel you're not really if you're listening to a podcast. So it's so nice that we can sort of
because it's
help
more
in
relaxed.
Some way.
Yeah. I mean, look, you've got people like Leslie that we had on in the
Leave It to Diva.
Like that's the other thing. Don't forget, listeners, about podcasts, is that you can always go back. It's going to be there for you, and just scroll through and find something that will suit you for that day. Someone said to us, a couple of days ago, it was our second podcast in with Gabrielle, and she I really
my
loved
daughter Gabriella, and they just listened to that for the first time.
And that made me realise podcasts are great like
and
that.
The family. So we actually want to share more of the family. We're going to have Di, as you know, she's one of 8. We're going to have some of her siblings in, and I tell you what,
that'll be a laugh.
I think they're going to need more soundproofing once they've got your family in as well.
Guaranteed.
So that's coming up as well. I think we're going to have your brothers. We've got them lined up.
Yeah.
We've got coming up shortly too is Caterer and Mahoney, which is I'm really excited as well too. She's just like the great journo, and that book In Between Husbands.
The best
belly
book
laugh.
if you really want a good read, In Between Husbands. Brilliant book, and read it before you hear the interview, which will come up in the next couple of weeks.
We're going to. Catherine's coming up shortly.
That's brilliant.
Dr. Happy.
And there's a couple VIPs that we can't talk about right now who are coming up.
Yes,
we've got some fun things coming up.
Sex therapist is coming up as well too.
Oh yeah, you name it, we got it.
The top stylist.
Stop listening. That's us. No, so come and join us over the back fence.
So much more coming ahead as well.
Unbelievable ahead of us. So look, thanks for tuning in.
This is a special bonus episode.
Well done, Theo, for winning the MOA competition.
Winners are grinners.
I love competitions. Bit of a dag like that.
You can enter again. So, Paula and Sheridan and Taylor, who came so close, keep on entering.
Yeah.
And also keep on sharing, as this was saying too, like hit the follow. It's those three little dots in the top there. It really makes a difference
It does.
for us.
It helps us.